One of the really beautiful things about speedrunning histories is that they're always changing. Rarely does a top time stand forever. It's only a matter of time before a new glitch or strategy is found, or a new wave of inspiration takes hold and coaxes runners into pushing the envelope a little further. Today, we're taking another look at Fable: The Lost Chapters. Over the last year, Fable has undergone some significant changes and seen some new faces. This is part 2 of Fable: The Lost Chapter's history. Welcome to Speed Dogs. As mentioned earlier, this is a continuation of a video we did in 2018. If you haven't seen that video, we suggest you go watch it before watching this one. A link to that video will be in the description. Now, for a brief recap. Fable's speedrun history dates all the way back to the SDA days, but doesn't really start until Edom and Blasted T find each other on Reddit and start working together to optimize the game. By the end of 2014, the optimal route makes use of summon clipping, the buy-sell glitch, Aegis potions, and a plethora of smaller time saves all over the run. At the turn of the year, a new face would appear that would dominate the landscape of Fable speedrunning for years to come, KJ Freshly. KJ brought a fresh pair of eyes to the scene, and his mechanical skill and competitive nature pushed him to the forefront in no time. Among other things, the route now included Berserk rush rolling, Nostro's Soul, Barrier Clip, and running in the French language. After pushing the record for a full 3 years, KJ started to feel the effects of burnout and fatigue. Coupled with hardware problems, KJ moved away from Fable speedruns. Finally, in 2018, Clean Sarah, the longtime runner-up in any percent, started making a move for the world record. With new tricks like the save and load in childhood, as well as the Berserk strats in the arena, Clean had an edge over the sleeping giant. In July of 2018, Clean took the world record for the first time, being the first person besides KJ to have the record since 2015. KJ felt the competitive fire come back and quickly reclaimed the title, cementing himself once again as the leader of the pack. And that's where we left off last time. KJ would try to keep running Fable, but the burnout came back. Within a month or so, KJ had retired once again. In his absence, there was a power vacuum. With Clean breaking KJ's streak and the burnout setting in again, the other runners saw a chance for a new champion. There was blood in the water. A new face had joined the Fable scene. Around August, the same time KJ got his 109.41, a new runner named Cannibal X6 had joined the ranks. Bouncing around from game to game, Cannibal was searching for a speedrunning community to call his own. By the end of his first month, he was sitting pretty with a 119.14, 6th place, nearly 10 minutes behind KJ.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. This was kind of like the first game I'd settled on. I just ran a few random games for a month or two. Found these guys and it was awesome. I was welcomed right away.
Edom, who had remained a stalwart custodian over the Fable community, had himself achieved a 112.40. Edom, who had traded the record back and forth with Blasted T in the game's early days, had not tasted world record gold for quite some time. Still, he remained involved in the community both as a runner and as one of its stewards. As we explained in part 1, Edom was crunching the numbers on a new route using the Sword of Aeons. It was known about since 2016 that you could obtain the Sword of Aeons very early on in the game, but it's not as strong as the Master Greatsword or the Solace Greatsword, which the route at the time was using. The Sword of Aeons is a light weapon, so while it does less damage per swing, you swing the weapon faster, which helps mitigate the damage difference. Because it's lighter, runners don't need to sheath it when they roll. Additionally, it has passive health and mana augmentations which regenerate your health and magic as long as it's equipped. This mana regeneration restores several mana potions worth over the course of the run and is very useful for runners. It also grants the wielder 10% extra experience from all sources. While you usually have to buy the Master and Solace Greatsword, you can obtain the Sword of Aeons for free.
And then Aeons is also amazing because it gives mana regen, which is something you don't really think about, but it actually saves I'd say 30 Assassin Rush throughout the run, which is very good. Like in the early game, it's actually amazing. When you just watch the mana bar, I wouldn't say it's a huge impact, but you can feel it.
During his calculation, Edom theorized that the Aeons route could skip the Ages of Skill potion in the beginning, cutting out an RNG fishing part. By skipping the Greatswords, runners could also cut down on the number of buying and selling throughout the run, since they didn't need the several tens of thousands of gold for each weapon. With these major changes, and a few minor ones as well, it was only a matter of time before someone stepped up to the plate. Clean, who had previously ended KJ's 3-year-long world record streak, would be the first to get a new time implementing the Sword of Aeons into his run.
World record, baby.
While Clean skipped getting the Master Greatsword, he still purchased the Solace Greatsword because it wasn't a major time loss, and it made the maze fight and the summoners easier. Clean wasn't the only one hard at work lowering their time. Cannibal got a new personal best of 1:14:35 in October, and Edom got a 1:11:11 in November. These changes to the route breathed new life into the community.
Actually, the route change actually brought me back from I was kind of just done. I was sort of happy with my run. It was I think a 1:14, and then I think right when the Aeons route started, I came back and just kept going from there.
Not long after Clean took the record back, Cannibal had lowered his time yet again to a 1:12:40 on December 22, 2018. While he was 10 minutes behind the record just a few months ago, he had made great strides and was now within 3 minutes of the top time. Despite Cannibal's remarkable ascent up the leaderboard, it would be someone else's time. They were doing an offline run that day when all the pieces were falling perfectly into place. Just as they had drawn up and theorized for others over the years, their best laid plans were going accordingly. Just past the graveyard, they were feeling the mental fatigue. Was this really happening? Was the brass ring really within his reach? It was. And with a gasp of air and wiping the sweat from his brow, Edom had reclaimed the world record for the first time since 2014 with a 1:09:33. Edom was the one who had theory crafted and devised this new route. He was the one doing the math and working up the numbers. In that regard, he had more experience with this run than anyone else. Taking the 80% record meant that Edom had 2 of the 3 main categories' best times. Following this run, Edom quickly pivoted to all silver quests and snagged a world record sweep just before the end of 2018. With this final triumph, the year would come to an end. Earlier in 2018, Edom had run Fable TLC at ESA, Europe's largest and most popular speedrunning marathon. After a wonderful showcase of the 100% category, Edom mentioned that there were 2 separate bounties currently active for the run. If someone could find a way to skip the graveyard or skip the prison sections of the game, they would find themselves $250 richer for each. This caught the attention of someone watching at home. This young hotshot joined the Discord in August of 2018 and went to work looking for glitches. While he didn't end up finding anything for either bounty, he did find a glitch that no one was expecting. At the start of the new year, HotshotWire found a glitch that allows players to double purchase upgrades, even if they don't meet the requirements for the second upgrade. By refunding a purchase and then spamming the buy option during the menu lag, the game will buy the upgrade and then buy the same upgrade again for the same price, ignoring if the player has the experience necessary. This can put the runner's experience into the negatives, allowing runners to buy upgrades way before they should have enough experience.
I think about 15 minutes later, he said, oh yeah, I can sort of double buy an upgrade. And I didn't realize at the time, and I said something like, I think I've got the screenshot somewhere, it's like, cool, might break the run. And I said that kind of as a joke, and then a few hours later I'm like, oh wait, no, this actually breaks the run.
Once the implications of this glitch set in, runners immediately started looking for places to implement this exploit into their runs. The first thing people thought of? Inflame 4.
And we had access to Inflame 4. That was the biggest boon right there.
That made the run way more fun, in my opinion. We had like a cool upgrade glitch. It made Arena much nicer. That was probably the biggest change that it made, was Inflame 4 in Arena. And I know I really pushed the Inflame everything pretty much in the Arena.
The Inflame spell is unfortunately rather weak at levels 1, 2, and 3. Inflame 4, on the other hand, is completely busted. Inflame 3 is only useful for the first few rounds of the arena, but it doesn't scale well into the later stages. Inflame 4, however, does significantly more damage and can take out almost all of the waves with ease. Since the Sword of Aeons does less damage than the Master Greatsword, having Inflame 4 means that Arena goes a lot smoother. Next up was Assassin's Rush. They discovered you can buy Assassin's Rush 2 right after you complete the guild training. Assassin's Rush 2 significantly increases the distance on that spell, which effectively doubles the speed of one of the main movement techs in the game. Lastly, Berserk. Berserk 4 is locked behind an alignment wall. Physical Shield 4 and Berserk 4 are unable to be unlocked without being max good or max evil on the alignment chart, respectively. However, the Hotshot glitch bypasses this and allows you to obtain Berserk 4 early.
And it's also used to get Berserk 4 after the arena, which completely bypasses the whole alignment requirement that we used to have.
Berserk 4 early also made up for the lack of damage in the maze fight, and made it viable to skip the Solace Greatsword altogether. Once again, the first person to implement Hotshot glitch into a run would be Clean with a 109.10 on January 7th, 2019. Adam was taking a break from Mini% to focus on other categories, such as all silver quests and 100%. Just 2 days after Clean's 109.10, Cannibal would get a 110.58. Cannibal's meteoric rise to prominence was astounding. Within just a few months of playing, Cannibal was closing in on the top spot on the leaderboard.
I saw within about 2 months, I'm like, yeah, this guy can do it. I knew that with everyone. I knew it with Clean, I knew it with Raheem, I knew it with him. I was like, this guy, he's got the ting.
10 days later, he gets a 109.19 on January 19th. This time would have been the world record a few weeks earlier, which just goes to show how fast he was improving. He was now in second place, just 9 seconds behind the world record. And he wouldn't stop there. 4 days after that, Cannibal takes the world record with a 108.42. 16 days ago, he was in third place. 14 days ago, he was in second place. Before January was over, he was now in first place. He's playing hot. On February 4th, he gets a 108.20. He's now a full 50 seconds ahead of Clean. Meanwhile, a young man who had been watching the top Fable speedrunners for years finally gets his first PC. Introducing Raheem. Shortly after getting his first desktop in February, he immediately took to speedrunning the Lost Chapters in March. His first run in March was a 133.24, a long ways away from Cannibal's 108.20. However, he had been watching from afar for years, and now was his chance to play. So he started grinding, and grinding, and grinding. Like a man obsessed, Raheem gave Fable everything he had.
I didn't really start from zero, so I guess that helped a lot. And also I played a shit ton. I played I don't know. At some point, I think 3 weeks after my first thing, I had 5 hours a day or something every day. I would wake up, play a bit of Fable, then leave, come back home and play Fable, and then go to sleep thinking about Fable, wake up and be like, what can I do in Fable? That was for a few weeks, that was completely just Fable. So I improved a lot in the first few weeks.
Meanwhile, Cannibal had finally found a speed game to really sink his teeth into. While he was ready to move on to something else back in September, these new glitches and route changes made the run so much more interesting to him. Even now that he had the record, Cannibal was having too much fun running the game and would continue pushing it as far as he could. On March 4th, Cannibal would achieve a 107.51. Before March was through, Raheem lowered his time down to a 1:18:37 in just a couple of weeks. As you might remember, Cannibal had achieved similar growth not 6 months prior. At the start of April, Raheem got a 1:15:45, and by April 26th, his time was a 1:08:33. The gap between Raheem and Cannibal was closing, and the rest of the Fable community watched in awe as they were left in the dust.
Oh, he's doing some runs. Oh, he's good. Oh, here we go, sort of thing. Yeah, he's got the ting. He's got the ting.
Not to be outdone by this slightly newer newcomer, Cannibal lowered the world record down to a 1:07:28 on April 28, 2019. Raheem would fire back with a 1:07:59 on May 6th. These two young bloods were carving a path through uncharted territory, locked in a fierce foot race of route optimization. Almost exactly 2 months after his first submitted any percent run, Raheem would finally capture the world record with a 1:07:20, beating out Cannibal's time by 8 seconds.
Let's go, boys. Oh my. Oh my god.
It wouldn't be long before the summit would get a little more crowded though. A little less than a week later, Clean emerges from the shadows to take second place with a 1:07:22 on May 20th.
That's what we call a run, baby. You know what? I think I may have found a run that I'm happy with. At least for now.
Clean had taken a step away to focus more on Fable Anniversary, where a bunch of new speed tech was found. But now, Clean wasn't going to let the new kids have all the fun. Few had journeyed to the top of the Lost Chapter's summit. Longtime expeditionist KJ's flag had stood long atop the mountain alone. With an influx of new mountaineers, the game was enjoying some much-deserved activity. With the three best runners now within 10 seconds of each other, who would take the next step forward? Over the month of June 2019, Raheem makes Fable the Lost Chapters his own. He starts off the month with a 1:06:48.
It's over. 106. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's over. Then I'll take.
And a few days later, a 1:06:27. By the end of the month, Raheem is sitting on top with a 1:06:13 on June 29th. Raheem was on fire. Burning brighter than anyone before him, Raheem was unstoppable.
Got him, boys! Got him! Let's go. GG. Oh my god! Woo!
On July 14th, Bastille Day, French Independence Day, the young patriotic Frenchman Raheem is streaming attempts. After getting a small 8-second PB, Raheem jumps right back in. The run starts off smoothly. Raheem is staying just ahead of his new best time. After Orchard Farm, Raheem swings by the Chamber of Fate to grab the Sword of Aeons. Breezing through the bandit camp, Raheem takes out Twin Blade with ease and moves on to Witchwood. With clean fights and cleaner movement, Raheem finishes off the White Balverine in record time. Both the Find the Archaeologist and White Balverine quests are best segments. Compared to his brand new best time, he's sitting a full 24 seconds ahead. The arena is what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. True to its name, the arena is the proving ground for a good run. With a deep breath, Raheem is ready to take that challenge head on. Blasting each wave with Inflame 4 and busting up the heavy units with the Sword of Aeons, Raheem is cutting through enemies like a hot baguette through butter. He can't believe it. Coming out of arena, Raheem is now almost 40 seconds ahead of the world record.
Wait. Oh my god, please! Tell me it's not real! Oh my god, this is not real. This does not make sense. This run does not make sense! What the fuck?
Heading into Litchfield Graveyard, Raheem remembers that his last time from earlier that day had lost 15 seconds to bad fish RNG. If Raheem could take it slow, he could save even more time here. To his surprise, not only did he get an easy fish, he also got perfect RNG for the Circle of the Dead.
Okay, please RNG. Oh my god, and the RNG is good! What the fuck? This is the run! Oh my god. 6. I think we're at 6. 7. One more, boys. Oh my god, this might be the best RNG ever.
With an amazing fight, Raheem heads into the prison section of the run, being 1 minute ahead. Welcoming the much-needed bathroom and mental break, Raheem reflects in his cell.
Vous êtes chasse-poulet, n'est-ce pas? Vous êtes le champion de l'arène, celui qui a renoncé au gros lot pour laisser
Also,
vivre.
I don't want to jinx it,
Les gars comme vous sont
but it's literally like free, alright? At this point it's free. Like being a minute ahead, I just need to like play the game, and it's a free PB/105, okay?
After prison, he needs to focus on getting a good maze fight. After that though, it's smooth sailing. This run doesn't quite have the potential to be a 104-minute time, but it's going to be a 105 easily, if he can just hold it together. Mentally prepared, he dives back in. It's go time. Raheem is able to take out Maze quickly. It's not perfect, but he only lost a second or two. On to the Jack fight. During the chase, Raheem places a precise arrow to activate the cutscene 10 seconds faster.
Oh, got it first try, let's go. The run is alive.
During the main fight, Jack goes down easily. During the Fireheart quest, Raheem accidentally leaves one of the summoners with a sliver of health. Raheem moves on, unknowingly leaving a key enemy behind. When the quest doesn't end when it's supposed to, Raheem looks back to see Briar Rose dealing the killing blow on the last summoner, saving Raheem from losing a massive amount of time. On this run, even the NPCs weren't going to let this run die. In the Northern Wastes, Raheem abuses the teleport mechanics and navigates the area in no time, heading into Necropolis. Here, Raheem is struck with terrible luck, wasting 13 seconds in Necropolis. He saves a bit of that time back with a nice Nostro fight, then drives it home with the Dragon Jack fight. In the end, Raheem ends his run with a 105.29 on July 14th, 2019.
I rushed. And there you go. For the first time. Any percent has been beaten in less than an hour and 6 minutes in-game time. And TLC is finally faster than Anniversary.
And that's where the record stands today. After a crazy year of roster changes and route shakeups, the landscape for TLC is totally different now. So what's next for the Lost Chapters? One of the new glitches discovered in 2018 is called Edom mode. To put it simply, for your sake and ours, it's a way to load maps without scripts. This means that performing Edom mode in a region disables load triggers, quest and map scripts, and doors. While it's currently not used in any percent, this glitch has big game-breaking implications. People are still on the fence as to whether or not prison skip is actually possible. Hotshot Wire has a few ideas that he'd like to try before he throws in the towel though. The other idea to skip prison is skipping past a huge chunk of the game to a point past prison. If there was a way to go from earlier in the game to Hook Coast, you could skip being in prison. The way to Hook Coast is through the Darkwood Cullis Gate, which you can reach after guild training, but it's not active until you escape Bargate Prison. This could potentially skip a huge portion of the game, cutting the runtime in half.
Yeah, I think it's more likely that we'll skip like the entire section, and I'm pretty sure Adam's on the same page of if we can find a way to like get to Hook Coast before going past a trader escort. Theoretically, we could skip that entire part of the game.
Beyond that, no one knows what the future holds. Edom, vigilant as always, is constantly coming up with crazy ideas and testing them out. Now that Hotshot Wire has joined in on the effort, some of those ideas are bound to bear fruit. Who knows, maybe in a year or two, the run will be unrecognizable from what we see today. But that's just one of the beautiful things about speedrunning. Hey, thanks for watching our video. If you want to join the community, check out our Discord. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon. It really helps. Thanks.